nextcodekids.com. And if you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are gonna learn about encapsulation and properties in C#, and we are also gonna learn some very basic concepts that programmers are unaware of about encapsulation. So without any delay, let's get started. Damn! So what is exactly the meaning of encapsulation? So we'll first dive into encapsulation and not look to at properties first, because to understand properties we need to understand the concept of encapsulation. What happens in encapsulation? So basically the meaning of encapsulation is to make sure that sensitive data is hidden from users. Now that's out of the way, we know that encapsulation is used to hide sensitive data from our users. But how can we achieve that? That we achieve using properties. So what do we do in encapsulation? Why do we use encapsulation, right? What makes encapsulation unique and why should we use it? So basically encapsulation can make your properties your properties a state. For example, it can give it a state of read only. So a field, sorry, not a property, a field can be read only, or it can make a field write only, or it can make a field read write, right? So it gives a state, it defines a state to a field. Next, it whenever you are using properties whenever you are using properties, whenever you are doing encapsulation, right? So just to make that clear, we use something called getters and setters to achieve to create properties and achieve encapsulation. So whenever you are doing that, whenever you are just setting a value, before setting it you can validate your data, right? You can validate your data before setting it, instead of validating every time you set properties values. You can just check it in the setter, and you just have to call the setter every time to validate and then set the value. So that's another advantage. The third advantage that I call is a very big advantage, right? So it's a very big advantage. You can use it for debugging. Whenever you're setting a value or you're getting the value, you can log out the values and basically check what the actual values are, right? Instead of like getting the value and then logging it out yourself, you can directly do it in getters and setters, so you don't have to do it every time yourself, and that will like shorten your code, plus it will be very clear to you what is exactly happening. Next, for example, you are in your setter doing some validation processes, right? You are like in your setter method you are doing some validation process, and you want to change, for example, an algorithm. You are using an algorithm to validate something, so you want to change that algorithm to some other algorithm. For example, you are in your setter, you are getting an array, right? So you're getting an array, and basically you want to sort it, right? So there are a lot of methods to sort. I researched a lot of algorithms. So sort algorithms, right? So there are sort algorithm examples. So for example, you are using bubble sort, right? So examples. So for example, you're using bubble sort, right? So you're using bubble sort to sort whatever array you have. Then you realize that isn't the most efficient method, right? I'm just giving an example. What you can do in your setter, you can just directly code out the different algorithm, and you're implementing code, so your outside code where you're using the setter won't change, right? Or else if you were like whenever setting the value of an array, you were sorting it again and again using the bubble sort method or the quick sort one, then you would have to change everywhere. But once it is in the setter, you are just calling everywhere the setter, and in the setter you can run any algorithm you like, so right. So you won't have to change everywhere, you just have to change at one place. So you have one standard place where you can change, update everything, right? So quite cool. Now let's dive into how to create our properties, right? So we haven't used the properties word so far a lot, but we're just gonna see what how can we use these getters and setters. So over here we are using system to log out stuff. Then we have a class person over here. You're creating a private variable's name, right? Its type is string, right? So this isn't accessible outside the class, but we can make it accessible like read only, write only, or read write. But it does not make sense of making a private variable read write, because it is already read write if it is public, right? It is already read write if it is public. So using getters and setters for making it read write won't help you a lot. It will help you but won't help you a lot, right? So making it read write won't be the case every time for you. It will be only like read only or write only most of the times. So over here we are creating a private variable name, right? And now if you want to just write only, make this write only outside the class or read only outside the class, then how can we do it? We are creating a public string name, right? So this is the convention. Whenever creating a property, you should always have whichever field you are accessing using your property, that field's name should be there in your property name, and the first letter should be uppercase, right? So this is just a convention. You can keep any name for your property, you can give any name to your property. Next we are saying that we will use get and set in this, right? So in get we're just gonna return the name, and whenever we are setting a value, we'll set the variable's name value to whatever value we get, and we can directly access the value that the user wants to set using this value keyword. This is a already predefined keyword so that we can use. So over here in our program class we have a main method creating an object of a person class, and then we are setting its name, right? So we are setting its name, and you see there's a capital letter, right? Capital letter name, right? So you can see it is capital N over here, and we are setting it to Liam, and then we are writing my object name. So we are making use of both getting and setting. But this, I told you, this won't be the case always for you. You can make it only get only, so only read only. So if you try to set the value now, see what will happen. Just look at this. Okay, so it is taking a minute, like some time to run. So it is giving us an error. Though if we just do command Z and run this, this won't give us an error. Okay, so this is giving us an error. Let's just solve this very quick. So where is it giving an error? Okay, so error this is invalid. Okay, so I don't see what is invalid, but I'm just gonna do this. Go back here. I think there's a problem with this REPL over here. So it will just take me a second to create a C# REPL. C#. Right, and let's just give it the default name. Okay, so this should work now, I think, or if this doesn't work I'll get back to you in a minute. So using system, okay, this should work now. Doesn't, then I'll just get back to you in a minute, because I was testing a lot with that REPL, so maybe there was an error with it. Okay, so there's an error. Just get back to you in a minute. Okay, so after all, there was a problem with our REPL and not a problem with our code. So that's what was frightening. So I uh, went to mono C# or something that was working. It was kind of a template, but for now we're not focusing on that. This is normal C sharp over here, right? So over here now I was showing you, if I just remove this setter and then run this, getting an error, get an error, clear error. Remove this, this will work fine. We're just getting the value, we're just reading the value, right? The value is nothing right now, right? So the value is literally nothing. If we just do like equals to high, now this will work, right? So now this will work. Yep, so we get high. Okay, so now this value is read only, like you can see over here. We can also make it write only. So these getters and setters are so powerful, you won't believe they are so powerful. So this is write only. So over here also I'll just console dot write line to show you what's the value of our name. Yeah. Okay. So now this is write only. We aren't doing anything. Expected this wrap, and this is only write only. So whenever we try to write, then it writes Liam and just shows it in the setter only that we have written Liam. We try to access the value. Now see, it will throw us an error, right? So it is not allowing us to access the value, right? So this is some quite cool stuff, right? So over here we can use a shorthand also. So apparently there's a shorthand also for this, and we just give public string name like we did over here, create a property normally, and we just give it get over here and set over here. So now you may be thinking what is different, right? The above thing was doing the same, right? So what is exactly different? The difference is that you can't run any additional validation methods or like log out something in your shorthand get and set. You can just set the value and get the value, right? So over here this is public string name, right? So over here as you can see over here, now the value of name will directly be set. There's no field being used over here. Now what will happen, the value of name will be set to not the name field, this name over here, that is apparently the property, right? Its value will be set or right. So whenever we set something, the name's value will be set, and whenever we get anything from name, the value of name itself will be we will be getting that. So we set my object.name to Liam and then we access it, so we'll get Liam, right? If I remove the set as usual, we won't be able to set. Over here we'll have an error. Yep, so it is read only, so we cannot like set it. So this was it for guys for encapsulation and properties. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to smash the like button, and thank you guys. If you like the video, please don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you guys, bye, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Dab!